Chosen ones, listen closely. Your faith is the key, and God's endless riches are waiting to be unlocked right now. Feel that spark in your spirit? That's no accident. It's the divine ignition, the force that propels you out of mediocrity and into the open arms of limitless abundance. This is the moment you've been praying for, the season when all the seeds you've planted through faith, dedication, and prayer begin to flourish beyond your wildest imagination. So, raise your head, straighten your shoulders, and prepare for the outpouring of blessings that has your name written on it. There's a reason you can't stay silent anymore. Your soul is yearning to break free from the mundane, to step out of the shadows and claim what has always been rightfully yours. That hunger for more isn't just a random desire. It's a divine nudge, guiding you to seize the inheritance that's been prepared for you since the beginning of time. Type 777 in the comments if you feel that surge of expectancy coursing through your veins, if you know you're on the brink of something extraordinary. By writing that number, you're announcing to the world that you're done living below your potential, done ignoring the whispers of destiny that beckon you toward greatness. When we speak of God's endless riches, we're not just talking about material gain. Though that can certainly be part of the package, we're talking about the fullness of life, unshakable peace, indescribable joy, unwavering confidence, and a divine favor that opens doors no man can shut. All of that and more belongs to you the moment you decide to believe wholeheartedly and without reservation that your faith truly does unlock the treasures of heaven. Ask yourself, how many blessings are gathering in the storehouse, waiting for the day you choose to stand on unyielding faith, daring to believe in the impossible? Go ahead and like this video if you sense the call to rise, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're building a movement of faith-fueled warriors who refuse to settle for the ordinary. Day after day, we come together, encouraging one another to dive deeper, to push harder, to love stronger, and to give ourselves fully to the divine mission etched into our souls. There's a longing in your spirit, isn't there? A thirst for purpose that compels you to reach for more than you ever thought possible. Well, that longing is the evidence that your heart is aligning with the extraordinary power of your Creator. Comment 777 again if you feel your faith stirring, if something inside you knows you've been divinely chosen for this very moment. Look at the world around you, full of skeptics, naysayers, and broken dreams. Yet here you stand, refusing to let fear dictate your future. That alone is a testament to the greatness lying dormant within. Don't underestimate the force you wield when you choose faith over doubt, when you proclaim abundance in the face of lack, when you speak healing in the midst of pain. Faith rearranges realities. It makes room for miracles in places where logic sees none. The key is that you must hold nothing back. Half-hearted belief yields half-measure results, but a soul ablaze with unwavering conviction, that soul transforms deserts into gardens, emptiness into overflow, and turmoil into triumph. So rise up now and stake your claim on every blessing that's been promised. Enough with the excuses, enough with the second-guessing. The time for playing small is over, because God is ready to pour out riches, opportunities, and breakthroughs like a never-ending river. Sometimes it takes the darkest valleys to realize the brilliance of what's in store. If you've been walking through trials, understand this: the pressure is molding you into a vessel capable of holding the magnitude of blessings coming your way. That confusion, that heartache, those setbacks, they've all been stepping stones leading you to a grander display of divine power. Remember, a faith that's never been tested is a faith that cannot be trusted. Each tear you've shed, each moment you've felt alone, was orchestrated to awaken a deeper, more unshakable faith within you. Right now, you stand on the verge of a testimony that will rewrite your story forever. Type 777 if you're ready. To watch God turn every hardship into a testimony of victory. He doesn't just restore, He multiplies. He doesn't just heal, He makes whole. He doesn't just guide, He illuminates paths in the wilderness. But these promises require your active participation, your relentless trust, your unwavering declaration that you will not be denied. Are you bold enough to speak abundance before it appears, to declare victory when defeat seems imminent, to cling to the promise of provision even when the bank account reads zero? That's what summons the miraculous. Picture for a moment the unimaginable vistas awaiting you. Vibrant relationships filled with understanding and support, financial freedom that allows you to bless others, inner peace that no storm can shake, and a joy so deep it overflows into every corner of your life. Now realize that these things are not fantasies. They are the natural outflow of a heart fully surrendered to faith. The very fact that you can envision them means they're within your grasp. Your faith is the key that unlocks the door to these endless treasures, and all of heaven waits in anticipation for you to turn that key. So many people live in lack because they are unaware of the riches already assigned to them. But ignorance doesn't have to be your destiny. Now you know. Now you're aware that everything can change in a single moment of audacious belief. Will you let this be the moment you finally stop holding back and start pressing forward with all you've got? No more half measures, no more if-only thinking. Today you align yourself with the infinite resources of a God who never fails. Like this video if you agree, if you are choosing now to shift your perspective from worry to worship, from doubt to declaration, from fear to faith. And subscribe if you want to keep walking alongside others who have refused to let their dreams die in the wasteland of uncertainty. Together we stand on the precipice of a new era in which miracles become commonplace, favor is a lifestyle, and testimonies of breakthrough echo from every corner. But remember, faith is not a spare tire you pull out in emergencies. It is the engine that drives you. Your daily actions, your words, your mindset, they must reflect the reality you're stepping into, not the one you're leaving behind. Yes, you might face obstacles. Yes, there will be days when you wonder if it's even worth it. But let me tell you this. Every giant in your path only exists to showcase the power of your God. Every barrier is an invitation to witness a breakthrough. Every doubt is a chance to reaffirm your hope. Comment 777. If you're reclaiming your life right now, if you're done being a spectator in a world of endless possibilities, you are a creator, a conduit through which divine power flows, shaping your destiny and impacting everyone around you. Each time you reaffirm your faith, the universe shifts a little more in your favor. Each time you stand on the promises, your inner landscape transforms from a battlefield of fear to a sanctuary of unwavering trust. That trust doesn't just change you, it radiates outward, touching family, friends, and even strangers who cross your path. People will see something different about you, a resilience and optimism that defies logic. They will wonder where your confidence comes from, how you maintain hope, even when circumstances suggest defeat. That wonder becomes your platform to testify, to show them a glimpse of the divine riches accessible to anyone who dares to believe. Can you feel it? The atmosphere is shifting, hearts are awakening, the flow of blessings is intensifying, waiting for bold believers to open the floodgates with their faith. There's a reason you're hearing these words now. It's not coincidence, it's destiny. God has aligned this moment so you can finally step forward, fully convinced that the riches of heaven are not just stories, but tangible realities meant to be experienced here and now. Let's dive even deeper into the well of unstoppable faith that you're cultivating right now. You see, every promise you've read about, every miracle you've heard of, every breakthrough you've silently yearned for, it's not just an abstract possibility, it's part of your inheritance. You don't have to beg for the goodness of God. You don't have to bargain or plead for His riches. The moment you truly believe, doors swing wide, obstacles dissolve, and blessings begin to chase you down. Comment 777. If you're claiming that reality for yourself in this very instant, if you're ready to witness what happens when an unwavering heart collides with limitless grace. Think about it, the same power that shaped galaxies, that spun planets into orbit, that breathed life into humanity, that power resides within your faith. When you lean into that truth, you tap into a resource that's beyond anything the natural world can offer. Money can't buy it, popularity can't fake it, and intellect alone can't reach it. It's a divine reservoir that floods your life with solutions, opportunities, and favor at precisely the moment you need them. Yes, logic might scoff, but faith knows there's a higher logic at work, one that doesn't align with earthly constraints. When you align with that higher logic, impossibilities melt away. But let's address a common stumbling block, the voice of unworthiness that sometimes creeps in and whispers, "Who am I to expect such blessings? What have I done to earn such favor?" Listen closely. Your worthiness isn't grounded in perfection, it's anchored in promise. God qualifies the called. He takes flawed vessels, fills them with divine purpose, and demonstrates to the world what grace can accomplish. So, every time that unworthiness tries to steal your hope, silence it by declaring the truth of your divine identity. You are chosen, and nothing can negate that. Not your past, not your mistakes, not your fears. Type 777. If you're breaking free from the chains of unworthiness, if you're done letting the shadows of past failures eclipse the brilliance of your future, the very act of declaring your readiness shifts the atmosphere around you. Suddenly, new doors open. What once seemed like random coincidence aligns perfectly to form a pathway of blessings. You'll notice the right connections, the right timing, and the right resources appearing as if orchestrated by an unseen hand. That's because they are. Faith is the currency of heaven, and when you spend it, heaven invests in you right back. Of course, this doesn't mean life becomes a breezy walk in the park. Challenges still arise, disappointments still knock at the door. But here's the difference. You're no longer a victim of circumstance. You're a victor who transforms obstacles into stepping stones. You harness the adversity instead of letting it harness you. Each test becomes another chapter in your testimony of overcoming. Each mountain you climb becomes a vantage point from which you can see even further into the plans set before you. And when people ask how you keep standing amid the storms, you'll point to the source of your unshakable foundation. Go ahead and like this video if you're claiming victory in every storm, and subscribe if you're committed to fueling that fire of faith day in and day out. Because faith, much like a muscle, requires consistent exercise. You can't just believe once and then coast. You have to feed your mind daily with promises stronger than your problems. You have to speak words of life in a world addicted to negativity. You have to stand firm even when the winds of doubt try to knock you over. And when you do, you'll find that every storm eventually runs out of rain, every night gives way to dawn, and every season of trial births a harvest of triumph. Comment 7777 if you're ready to outlast every storm, knowing your faith secures the outcome before the battle even begins. This isn't wishful thinking, it's strategic living. You're planting seeds that will grow into unshakable confidence, unwavering resilience, and a legacy of breakthroughs. Generations from now, someone might hear your story and find the faith to persevere in their own journey. That's the ripple effect of a single believer who dares to take God at His word. Your life becomes a lighthouse, guiding others through the fog of uncertainty toward the shores of hope. Think about how differently you approach each day once you truly grasp that your faith unlocks endless riches. No longer will you shuffle through your routine waiting for life to happen. You'll wake up with purpose, fully expecting divine alignments and serendipitous moments. You'll treat your gifts and abilities as holy tools entrusted to you for a grand mission. You'll show up in relationships ready to pour out love, instead of clinging to your own needs. You'll find yourself smiling in the face of adversity because deep down, you know the final chapter has already been penned by the hand of victory. This isn't hyperbole. It's a blueprint for living in the fullness of your calling. And it starts the moment you decide that the endless riches of God aren't a fairy tale, but a promise. An unbreakable covenant that's as real as the ground you stand on. When you choose to believe, everything shifts. The invisible becomes tangible, and the improbable becomes inevitable. That's the essence of faith. It transcends the visible and pulls from the unseen realm to manifest the miraculous in your everyday life. So, if you're ready to see the miraculous become your normal, type 777 again. Let that simple act be a resounding yes to the question heaven continually asks. Are you willing to believe for more? Understand, your yes is more powerful than you could ever imagine. It creates a partnership between your spirit and the divine, where dreams morph into testimonies and impossible situations become platforms for God to show up and show. When you say yes, you're not just changing your present, you're reshaping your legacy. Today is the day you shed them like an old garment that no longer fits. When you embrace the truth of God's endless riches, you realize that every limitation you once accepted was merely an illusion. There is no scarcity in the realm of the divine. There is only abundance awaiting your courageous claim. Comment 777 if you're ready to cast off those shackles and walk boldly into a future unbounded by the past. Think of how many dreams have withered in the hearts of those who never dared to trust in something greater than themselves. Don't let that be your story. You have an invitation to partner with the very force that spoke universes into existence. It's the kind of partnership that ignites a profound sense of purpose and fuels you to keep marching forward, even on days when everything feels stacked against you. Faith doesn't deny reality, it transforms it. It looks at the chaos and says, I see possibility here. It meets every obstacle with the declaration that your God is bigger, your destiny stronger, and your vision clearer than any adversity could ever be. Type 777 if you're standing in that affirmation, believing that no barrier, emotional, financial, physical, or spiritual, can withstand the power of a mind fixed on divine promises. There is a heavenly blueprint for your life, and each step you take in faith reveals another segment of it. Suddenly, what was once obscure becomes obvious. What felt unattainable begins to feel inevitable. Divine connections emerge, aligning with your path at exactly the right moment. Synchronicities abound, reminding you that you're not stumbling through life at random. You're being guided by a cosmic author who has already written your victory into the script. Go ahead and like this video if your soul resonates with that truth, and subscribe if you know your journey has only just begun, because guess what? Even as you step into these realms of blessing, your faith will continue to expand. It's not a one-time destination, it's an unfolding journey that takes you from glory to glory, unveiling more and more of what God has stored up for you. And the best part? You get to bring others along for the ride. People will watch your transformation and start asking questions. They'll want to know how you maintain hope in a hopeless world, and in your answer, they'll find the inspiration to take their own leap of faith. Faith is contagious like that. One spark can ignite an entire forest. When you stand in confidence, you silently grant everyone around you permission to do the same. And every time someone else awakens to the power within them, the ripple effect grows. creating a wave of transformation that extends far beyond what you could accomplish on your own. It's the multiplier effect of the divine. Blessings overflow, testimonies spread, and an atmosphere of expectation replaces the cynicism that once stifled hope. Comment 777, if you're committed to being a catalyst for that kind of change. Because let's be clear, this isn't about hoarding blessings for yourself. God's endless riches aren't meant to be locked away in your private vault. They're meant to flow through you, touching every life in your sphere of influence. The more you receive, the more you can give. Your generosity becomes an extension of God's own heart. In a world where so many guard what they have out of fear, you become a beacon of open-handed grace, showing that when your supply is backed by the infinite, scarcity loses its grip. Yes, challenges will still arise. There will be moments you feel stretched, times you question if you're really cut out for this grand plan. But each test is a chance to prove the resilience of your faith. Without the wind, a sailboat never moves. Without pressure, diamonds never form. Let trials galvanize your spirit, reminding you that you're in training for even greater victories ahead. The more you overcome, the more equipped you are to steward the treasures you're unlocking. If you're resonating with this vision, if you feel that spark of destiny glowing brighter within, type 777 yet again. Let it symbolize your unwavering decision to keep moving forward, no matter what. Life might throw curveballs, but your stance is firm. Critics might question your unwavering positivity, but your hope remains unshaken. Why? Because you've tasted the goodness of a limitless God. You've glimpsed a future shaped by endless riches. And once you see that horizon, going back to old patterns is no longer an option. Each morning becomes a fresh chance to align yourself with promise instead of problems. You'll begin to notice how your internal dialogue shifts from "I can't" to "with God, I can." Your perspective on obstacles morphs from dread to anticipation. Another mountain? Perfect. Another chance to see a miracle unfold. And it doesn't stop at personal breakthroughs. As you expand in faith, you'll discover new dreams, bigger visions, more audacious goals. The impossible will steadily become your norm, because you've built a track record of trusting the one who can do all things. Like this video if you're feeling that excitement build, and subscribe if you're ready to keep ascending in this spiral of faith that knows no limits. We've reached a point where ordinary words fail to capture the grandeur of what's at stake. We're talking about generations being impacted, communities being transformed, lives being reshaped by a single soul's choice to believe. That soul is you. And the moment is now. You don't have to wait for another sign, another confirmation, another pat on the back. Your calling is already coursing through your veins, urging you to step out on the waters of destiny. Remember this, you are never alone in this pursuit. Even in your quietest hours, forces beyond your comprehension are at work, orchestrating favor on your behalf. Prayer is not just a religious ritual. It's a direct line to the creative power that molded the stars. Speak with conviction and watch as the heavens respond. Walk with determination and see how the very ground beneath your feet begins to shift in your favor. There's nothing mystical or far-fetched about it. It's the lived reality of countless believers who dared to activate their faith. Comment 7777. If you're prepared to create new realities through the words you speak and the steps you take, don't underestimate the potency of a single declaration. I am blessed. I am chosen. I have limitless favor. These aren't empty phrases. They are spiritual seeds that take root in the soil of your life. Water them daily with belief and watch them grow into towering testimonies that draw others to seek the source of your strength. This is your permission slip to dream bigger than you've ever dreamed, to love deeper than you've ever loved, and to rise higher than you ever thought possible. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. Every time you exercise it, you're living out your role as a co-creator with the divine, shaping your world through trust, obedience, and unyielding expectation. And guess what? The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Faith stops being a leap and starts feeling like your default setting, a way of life rather than a rare occurrence. Do you sense the momentum building? Because we're still not finished. There's more revelation to uncover, more layers to peel back in this extraordinary journey. But let me pause to ask you one more time. Are you ready to venture further? If you want to dig even deeper into how your faith can access these inexhaustible treasures, let me know. If you're prepared to go beyond the surface and tap into the very core of divine abundance, type that 777, and I'll keep guiding you forward until every part of your being resonates with the truth. You are chosen. Your faith is unstoppable, and God's endless riches are already yours to claim. Keep breathing in the magnitude of what's unfolding in your life, because the journey is far from over. You've already witnessed how faith has shifted your mindset, altered your trajectory, and rekindled a powerful sense of possibility. Yet there's more. So much more that is waiting to be revealed. Your spirit knows it. That's why you feel that pull, that deep-seated longing, urging you to keep pressing onward. Each new day is an invitation to discover yet another layer of God's endless riches, to immerse yourself even further in the truth that lack is a lie and abundance is your true inheritance. Type 777 if you're ready for an even fuller immersion into the river of blessings that flows without end. You might ask, how can it get any better than this? But that's the wonder of faith. It continually expands. Just when you think you've reached the pinnacle, you realize the summit is even higher. Your mind may struggle to comprehend, but your spirit leaps in recognition that infinite growth is the hallmark of God's kingdom. Look back at where you started, perhaps in moments of despair, confusion, or overwhelming stress, and see how far you've come. The challenges that once loomed large now appear like stepping stones, each one guiding you to a new peak of insight. And as you ascend, your field of vision broadens, revealing opportunities you never noticed before. Comment 777 if you're embracing this upward spiral, determined never to settle for yesterday's victories. In each season, new grace arrives with fresh instructions, leading you to larger territories of favor and influence. It's like stepping onto a wide, open plain after years of wandering through cramped, narrow passages. Everything feels more spacious, more alive, more filled with divine potential. In these moments, old fears fade into distant memory, replaced by a confidence that transcends human logic. You realize that you're cradled in the hands of an all-sufficient Creator who delights in your every leap of faith. Don't be surprised if you sense a stirring to dream bigger than you ever have, to reach for goals that once felt unattainable. That's no coincidence. It's the evidence of spiritual acceleration. When you rest in divine promises, you tap into a current that propels you forward faster than any self-driven effort could. While others might depend solely on grit, you are fueled by grace. While some chase recognition, you chase alignment with the one who authors your story. And in that alignment, you find speed, favor, and open doors that baffle onlookers. Like this video, if you've felt that accelerated pace, that supernatural momentum urging you onward. It doesn't mean life is always smooth, but it does mean you move with purpose, guided by a compass that never fails. When you do encounter obstacles, see them as divine setups for your next breakthrough. Nothing is wasted in the kingdom of endless riches. Every delay can become a redirection, every rejection a recalibration that brings you closer to your ultimate destination. And through it all, A soft yet powerful voice keeps whispering, "Keep going, child. This promise is for you." In the midst of this journey, remember that you're not traveling alone. You carry within you the light that others desperately need. Your testimony isn't just for your own edification, it's a beacon that will illuminate another's path. The difficulties you've overcome become living proof that triumph is possible. The blessings you celebrate become evidence that God is eager to bless abundantly. So don't hide your light. Allow it to shine boldly, unapologetically, inspiring every soul fortunate enough to cross your path. Comment 777 again, if you vow to be that source of hope, standing firm in the knowledge that even your smallest acts of faith can spark monumental change in someone else's life. It might be a conversation with a friend, a gesture of generosity to a stranger, or a simple reminder of truth posted online. Each one is a seed, and when sown with love, it can grow into a mighty oak of transformation. This is how we heal communities, how we mend broken spirits, how we usher in a wave of collective renewal. Your faith doesn't just serve you, it serves a higher purpose that ripples across continents and generations. And what about the moments when you feel exhausted, as if your flame is burning low? That's precisely when your reliance on divine strength carries you further than human fortitude ever could. Though your energy may wane, the spiritual wellspring never runs dry. In times of weakness, you discover the depth of God's power, the steadfast nature of His support. You begin to see that your journey isn't sustained by your own willpower alone. You're buoyed by an infinite supply of resilience, creativity, and grace that ensures you'll never run out of what you truly need. Type 777. Yet again, if you're standing in that truth, refusing to let fatigue or weariness dictate your destiny. This unwavering stance is what separates those who merely talk about faith from those who actually live by it. When the world seems chaotic, you maintain your course. When people question your optimism, you smile, because you have an unshakable assurance of how the story ends. You're not naive to hardships, you simply understand that they're not the final word. The final word is victory, written in the language of endless riches that are yours for the taking. Every day, remind yourself that the miracles you seek are already in motion, woven into the tapestry of time. From your current vantage point, you may not see the full picture, but faith assures you it exists. It tells you that each setback is a mere comma, not a period. It whispers that your harvest is planted, that growth is happening beneath the surface, unseen but unstoppable. How liberating it is to move through life with that assurance, to wake up with gratitude instead of worry, to rest at night in expectancy rather than fear. Go ahead and like this video if gratitude has become your default setting, an unbreakable shield that repels negativity, because when you live in gratitude, you attract more reasons to be thankful. Your mindset shifts from scarcity to abundance, from frustration to fulfillment, and from impatience to peace. It's as though you step into a higher frequency, one where blessings naturally flow, and that frequency, driven by faith, is the sweet spot where dreams crystallize into experiences. Still, as you navigate this transformative journey, never forget that there's always another level to reach. Complacency may try to sneak in, suggesting that you've already arrived, but faith reminds you there's more ground to conquer, more souls to touch, and more wonders to behold. The God of endless riches is also the God of endless creativity. He never runs out of ways to astonish you, so keep your eyes open, keep your heart alert, keep that childlike wonder alive, trusting that the best is continuously unfolding before you. If your heart is pounding with excitement for these new horizons, type 777 one more time. Let it signal the world and your own soul that you refuse to settle for anything less than the fullness of what has been promised. This unstoppable posture is where you combine humility and boldness, reverence and resolve, surrender and action. You know you can't do it alone, yet you also know you play an essential role. Each day you yield to higher wisdom, while persistently doing your part, confident that all of heaven backs you in your mission. Let these words sink into your bones. Let them echo in your midnight hours when the rest of the world seems quiet and doubt tries to creep in. Recall them in your busy afternoons when distractions swarm and you need to refocus on your ultimate calling. Faith is not just a Sunday sermon. It's a lifestyle that threads through every decision, every interaction, every thought. And as it permeates every fiber of your being, you become a vessel for miracles, a conduit for peace, and a champion of hope. Now pause to take a deep breath, feeling that wave of divine reassurance washing over you. Notice how lighter your burdens seem, how clearer your vision grows, how aligned your steps become. This is what happens when you step boldly into your status as a child of boundless inheritance. Keep in mind that with each new revelation, your capacity for faith enlarges, making room for even greater blessings. It's a beautiful, never-ending cycle. Deeper faith, bigger harvest, stronger testimony. Though we've traversed a vast landscape of revelation, there's still more territory left to explore, more layers left to uncover. If you find yourself craving an even fuller download of heaven's wisdom, if you can sense that we're only skimming the surface, then let me know you want to keep going. Sometimes, just when you think you've gleaned every insight, a whole new perspective emerges, and suddenly what seemed impossible a day ago becomes the next logical step. Are you ready to peel back more layers and venture even further into the realm of miraculous living? Tell me, and I will continue carrying this fire of faith forward until it illuminates every hidden corner of your being, fueling a life so extraordinary that even you will stand in awe of how far you've come.